We have invited the teachers of the intellectuals today to our podcast. We have teacher Güzel Khan, overall band 8.5. We have teacher Aziza, who recently got band 8.5 as well. And we have teacher Saida, who is overall band 8.5. And me. So hi girls.
Hello.
Today we're gonna help these people. Look at these people watching us. They need help, so we're here not to show off. We're here not to brag about our achievements. These people also want you to, and we'll try to help them throughout the podcast. So the first question I want to ask you, what is one special method that you used to achieve your result? I'll give you some time to think about it because I didn't tell you about the questions in advance. Meanwhile, let me tell you about one method that helped me to get 9 twice. You see, I never learn words by heart. I know many people do, but it didn't help me when I was a teenager. So I found another way. I find a new word. And I paraphrase the definition given in the official dictionaries. Because in Oxford or Macmillan, sometimes the definitions can be a bit hard. But when I paraphrase them and write them my way, they stay in my mind for a long time. For example, when I first found the word efficient, I can't remember how it was exactly written, but it was something like efficient hyphen in a way that does not waste energy, finance, or time. It was a bit difficult to me, and what I did was this. I rephrased it, and in my vocabulary notebook, I wrote efficient hyphen time saving, money saving, energy saving. Boom, and I still remember this word after like 2 decades. So I repeat, I never learn words by heart. I find the definition, I paraphrase it, and I write it my way. So that helped me to get familiar with tens of thousands of new words in English. Now it's your turn. Who would like to speak about one special method that you probably, you think that not many people use it, but it helped you, and maybe it can help others as well?
Okay, I would like to speak about it. So there was a time when I wanted to improve my speaking skills because that has always been my weakness. I don't like speaking in public, nor do I like it when I speak to the examiner. I tried speaking to ChatGPT because, it's good at correcting mistakes. But when I asked it to give me a score, it gave me 6.5 one day. And I was so disappointed with the result I got because I had never scored this low. My speaking score had stayed at 7.5. That is why I was kind of demotivated by it. I decided to talk to my friend instead. I know that her level is not as high as mine, but still it works well. I don't feel worried when I'm talking to her, and whenever I make a mistake related to my ideas, she corrects me. I know that she cannot always spot all the mistakes that I might make, but it doesn't matter. It's beside the point. At least I enjoy the process. And I guess it helped me improve my naturalness because being natural or staying probably not polite, but being yourself during the test is what matters. That is why I think that working with a person who you trust, who you're comfortable around, helps the most. Not always relying on AI.
But I used AI. However, I fully agree with you. AI can't assess our speaking skills. It can't work like humans do. And even the designers, not only of ChatGPT, but also like Gemini and others, they agreed that assessment is not on a high level. But what can ChatGPT do actually is to find the mistakes. So maybe sometimes we say some phrase unnaturally and we don't know that. That can identify the weakness and tell us. So, people are better than AI, especially in terms of assessment. But some people can be lonely, and in this case, they should work with AI, not to ask the score, but to ask to help with the correction of mistakes.
Yeah, probably this is what I did wrong. I should have asked it to give me a score. I should have just focused on my mistakes, probably.
So do not ask ChatGPT or other AI to give you the score for speaking skills. They can't do it like us.
Back in our day, we didn't even have AI, like 5-6 years ago. So
We had a mirror.
We had a mirror. If you didn't have a friend, it would be even harder. So what I did, because at home I also had a problem with speaking, not with speaking, but with confidence. I knew what to do, how to perform, but I lacked confidence. So I used to watch some videos and movies on the internet, and I would try to imitate their accent, their intonation, their confidence. And then I guess that also helped me to have nice, well, not the best, but good intonation that is acceptable enough for exam. So like you said, ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever, this kind of AI, when you're talking to it, it automatically converts your speech into text, right? So I don't think it can genuinely mark your intonation or pronunciation. Maybe it can help with grammar or vocabulary, but I'm not sure about intonation or pronunciation.
Speaking of confidence, I had problems with confidence as a true introvert, but I know some actors who are also introverted. However, they have created some image which helps them to be confident on camera or on special occasions like speaking test. Like, do you know some shy actors in life but superheroes in movies? I know Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy. Who else? I know many of them. Deadpool, Ryan Hiddings, I think. Tom Cruise, all of them. If you watch their interviews where they don't act, they are very shy, silent, not very talkative. But when the camera is on, they become different people. We all can do that. Bahanao, like I'm an introvert and extroverts always get a high score. I'm an introvert who got 9 twice. It means you can create some alter ego, maybe some characters that will help you in special occasions. So yeah, confidence is a temporary problem. It's not a diagnosis, like forever. No.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So there was a video I watched before my test. It was about the message that most people should follow, like fake it until you make it. I first misunderstood it, but then I tried to put it in practice, especially when I started the exam itself. The examiner asked me whether I was ready. I lied by saying that I was, because I knew that I wasn't. But anyways, it didn't matter. I tried to stay confident from the start of the exam when I perfectly knew that I was feeling anxious from the inside. Yeah, but I wanted to create a self-image of myself, which was kind of confident and not afraid of anything. And it worked. With time, I got so immersed in the conversations that I forgot that I was doing an exam. I had a nice chat with the examiner. I was even disappointed when she told me that it was the exam. I mean, it was the end of the exam, that I had to leave now. Yeah, that was kind of a little bit hurting at the end.
One more thing about imitation. I can tell you one little secret. Some of your students, some of your female students imitate you on the speaking test. Probably they will never tell you, but as a teacher with a huge experience, some students who, like you, they go to the test, they feel nervous, but then they think like, how would teacher Saida speak if she were here? And then they don't speak like they could, they speak like you, or male students speak like me. And that is so sweet. Like we don't even try to help, but we somehow help.
You just gave my ego boost. You just boosted my ego.
That someday your students will tell you, and you'll see that I was right.
So, yeah, I wanted to add something about speaking. Recently, some of my friends told me that the way I speak is similar to yours, and it was quite unexpected. Then I remembered my preparation for IELTS. I hasn't come to the intellectuals yet. It was way older times. I was just preparing at home and I found a video about placebo and nocebo effect on YouTube. I didn't know about it that much, and then I loved the video so much that I started writing all the words that you use it, and I started imitating. When you stop it, I stop it. When you laugh it, I laugh it. And the way we spoke was so 100% the same. And maybe this is how my speech became similar to yours over time.
She does speak like you. I just not the she.
Thanks so much.
See, proven like on spot.
I appreciate it.
Like Lead said, that approach has turned into shadowing. Maybe shadowing and imitating to people is quite similar, but I don't know. So yeah, I did that and it helped me so much. And you enjoy the process when you imitate to someone who you like the most.
Okay, my heart starts beating so fast. Let's stop speaking about me. Let's go to the second question. Now, let's speak about your favorite students. Please don't tell the names because they shouldn't know how we like them. But sometimes when we open a new course, we look at students and they all have more or less the same level of English, like intermediate or pre-intermediate or upper intermediate. But there is something apart from language skills that demonstrates that they are going to get high result. Think about some of the characteristics of your favorite students. Why do you like to work with them? And again, let me give you some time. I will speak first. I sometimes notice that my students don't trust me. They doubt of what I say, and that's actually good. Because when I say that they should, for example, speak simply on the IELTS test, they don't believe me. They go home, they do research, they ask ChatGPT, they watch YouTube videos with Band 9 holders, and then they text. We have a group on Telegram, they text on Telegram like, "Hey teacher, we found extra evidence of what you have said today." And I was like, you didn't believe me, right? So I told you didn't listen, you didn't believe me, you went home, you Googled that, you did research, but that's actually good. I don't think people should trust others so much, and when somebody tells a statement, yeah, that should be checked. Maybe I didn't have an IELTS teacher, but maybe I would doubt of what my teacher said. So I really like when my students get, do extra research and work at home after my classes. So these students are one of my favorites. What about you?
In today's age, like the age of information overload, I guess it's only natural that you doubt anybody. I mean, internet, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, all these social media platforms, they are full of so-called experts that they give like advice. So I guess that's only natural that students doubt if what you say contradicts with what they've heard from the internet, and if they prove it for themselves that you are the right one.
I have just remembered one thing. It happened like 7 or 8 years ago. Some teachers in Kharezm, they taught their students that in reading, if in true false not given, the statement is short, it's true. If the statement is longer, it's false. And if the statement is extremely long, it's not given. And I was like, and children believed those teachers because there was no AI, there was no ChatGPT, and they said like Ustaz ayttı mı? Long statement, not given, and they just kept failing over and over again. But this is a different era. It's an era of technology. So if some God forgive me, teacher says that kind of crap, people can check it online and they can find out who is a teacher, who is Saida.
Yeah, I always tell that if the students ask me like, how do I improve my reading, how do I improve my listening, I'll tell them, you're learning a language, right? You're not like crossing a mountain, there's no shortcut. Yes, they try to look for shortcuts and tricks and tips, but there's no such thing. I don't believe that there's easy way.
And then they find those teachers who say, give me the money, I'll show you the shortcut. Short statement, that's true, and so poor.
Someone
so
who supports their delusion.
Those poor kids believe them. But let's stop speaking about those teachers. Let's speak about your favorite students. Why you like some of your students more than others?
I love my students when they do something for pure passion. Not because I tell them to do, but because they want to do it for pure passion. I had some students who learned English to enjoy their time, and they created different channels on Telegram, and I supported them. They made different vlogs, and it's quite interesting. And yeah, they learn different phrases, and they come to the lesson with new ideas. And this is what makes the atmosphere really creative. And you easily notice students who do homework just because you tell them to do them. And it's so boring, I guess. And there is one more thing that I want to add about the first question, like the method that helped me grow. It was doing something consistently and repeatedly. Yeah, this is something that all the teachers out there can tell and advise, but it's really important. I mean, like, students come and ask different questions about how to improve their reading and listening, and we give them advice, and they start doing that thing, but after several days they give up. just because they are tired, just because they are sleepy. But when they do it consistently and repeatedly, it can help them later. Like, for example, let's take the writing as an example. First, when you write something, it might be horrible and you may hate what you write, but in the second attempt, it gets better than the first one. And third, even better. And by the fourth or fifth attempt, it becomes the best. And this is what many students fail to do. They give up in the first attempt. Yeah, it's actually boring. It's not that interesting like many people think, but you have to do it if you want to get a high score.
Yeah, that happened to my experience with bar charts. Bar charts were really difficult for me. So what I did, I spent one Sunday of my life on bar charts. I wrote like 7 or 8 bar charts. I didn't do anything else, no reading, no task 2. And when I was writing my last bar chart, it seemed so easy because I understood the system. It's all about the highest, the lowest, the equal, the opposite. All of that was so like familiar for me. So consistency gives experience. People who don't have experience, they should just work consistently, like you said. Yeah, and I also like students when they ask me, sometimes they ask me like, teacher, can I open some group for speaking on Telegram? I say, please do, yes. Yes, invite some other like classmates.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, so great when they have this passion.
Yeah, I would like to add some point here because I also love such students. I always tell them to practice outside the classroom hours because it's not enough to have a lesson for 2 hours and expect the highest score possible. Then there was a group of mine last year that I loved the most because they decided to to create not a channel but a group without me telling them. I just told them to gather somewhere and talk to each other, but they decided to do it online because it would be much better for everybody. They wouldn't have to go outside, And so one day there was a guy who decided to hold a voice chat, but there was no one to join him. I saw the message that he sent to the group where he invited everyone to join, but I didn't reply because I don't usually participate in such things. Yeah, and then he asked me to join as well, and I was like, I'm a little bit too busy for that. And people started joining later on, but he kept waiting for someone to join for probably 30 minutes. Yeah, he was so patient. I guess he was the person who could make everybody study for IELTS properly. So I love such kind of students who take the initiative and start something on their own without being told even.
Yeah, but again, it comes to passion.
Yeah.
So you should like it to take the initiative. And before you speak, let me tell you the type of students I really don't like to work with. Again, students without passion. Their parents come to us, they tell us like, here is my kid, make it a human being. And I say like, do you like English? He says, no, I like IT. So please, take him to an IT teacher. Take him to math teacher. He likes figures, he likes numbers. But then parents say, apası İngiliz dilci, ekesi İngiliz dilci, I'm English dilci. I say, but look at him, he's a future programmer. But then they keep insisting, and I sometimes agree, but the student feels so depressed on my classes because in his eyes it's math and IT and figures. So I don't say I hate them, I just don't like to work with them because when I say it's not what they were born for. So it's sometimes difficult to explain to parents that stuff.
Yeah. And there's one more quality that I appreciate about some of my students, the fact that they don't easily give up. There are students who get easily demotivated when their first mock result comes out because it's not as high as they usually expect. And I hate it when they start losing hope. I love it when students decide to do even better than before after seeing their results because it is a kind of not incentive but motivation for them. I guess working with such students is easier and we can actually hope for the best results because they don't get easily demotivated. Instead, every failure gives them an idea that they should work even harder to push forward.
Well, if all people thought like you, life would be much easier. Yeah.
To add a little personal story, when I was your student, I'm still your student, but when I was in your IELTS group, I got my result and then I went to intellectuals to get my certificate. I still remember. I hope you remember too. You told me, 6.5. I really expect a 7 from you. And that, I guess we call it reverse psychology, I don't know. After you said that, I made it my lifetime goal to prove you right, that I can get 7. And then the next time I'm taking the exam, I kept telling myself, your teacher believes you, you have to get this higher score. And then I did. And then that at the time, I had one speaking instructor. And then after I went to him and I said, I got 8 for my speaking, he said, well, I actually expected higher than 8 from you. And then it made me again to try harder. So this kind of, like you said, failure actually makes us try harder, right? So I still have this like screenshot of what I texted to Stanislav Yuric, and he was like, wow, I can't believe that you still remember that. And yeah, your this little comment made me try hard.
Look, I didn't come here to cry. Why do you remember all these things?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it feels so great that all this helped you from 6.5 to 7.5 to 8.5. Well, I didn't think that my contribution was so high.
It was so high. It is still so high.
All right, well, let's go back to your students. Again, stop speaking about me. Come on, students.
My students.
Yeah, what kind of students do you like to work with?
Well, I might say something controversial actually if I talk about favorite. You know, my favorite students change every day depending on how they are performing in the lesson. You know, my favorite students are actually those who are not paying attention. You know, I always tell the students that I love students who do not pay attention. You know, in today's age, they have like ADHD, information overload, they fail to concentrate for a long time. And I can see in their eyes that they're looking at me, but they're somewhere else mentally, yes? And I pick on that student, not like in a bad way, but I'm like, for example, Tom, what did I just say? And he obviously doesn't know, right? And then I keep asking from him whole lesson, like, what did I say? Can you repeat? What did I say? Can you repeat? And then my students are like, oh, he's your favorite student today. He's your, what is that word?
Teacher's pet.
He's your prey today. The next day and for like a week, the student pays attention. I'm like bullying them into concentrating on the lesson. I don't really have like favorite student. When you say favorite student, like faces keep coming up in my mind right now. But like I said, it changes every day, even every hour, depending on how well they are behaving. Not behaving, how they are doing, in short.
Oh, that's very unusual. But I think I have something relatable. Yeah, sometimes when you see somebody like flying somewhere, not daydreaming.
Yeah, daydreaming.
You start talking to them. Well, all attention goes to them, and they feel special. And
The same happened with one of my students. I had a student called Timur. Like he.
no names.
No
Okay.
No, yeah.
Tom. Okay, it's okay.
I kept calling his name every lesson. He wasn't paying attention to my classes at all. He was daydreaming in my classes. But in the first month he failed it, but the next month he started succeeding because I started calling his name every lesson, every hour, every minute. And this approach is quite successful.
Yes, that one student who studied in my standard course this summer came back recently to my practice course, and we discussed new ideas, new words, and then I wrote one word, I don't remember what word on the board, and then he told me the translation. He said, I remember, teacher, you used it to bully me, and you bullied me into learning that word. I remember it clearly. So I thought to myself that bullying can work, like to your own advantage.
I use sarcasm. Sometimes I use very creative sarcasm every time. I see like some student feels sleepy. Probably played PUBG the previous night and feels sleepy. So then I don't, me, I never punish, I never shout at students. I just say like, hey, and what do I usually say? Like, hey, like for example, there's a pillow downstairs. Go to Samira. She'll give you a pillow. Again, you paid the money, so just have some rest. I know you probably had a very long night playing your games, and until the end of the lesson, they become focused. Because they feel that, like, if I shouted at them, it would be a temporary motivation. Or sometimes I tell them, like, my classes are not so interesting for you, right? Okay, well, I apologize. Let me refund. I'll give you all the money right now. please, sorry, I can recommend another center for you. And then they're like, no, teacher, no. And this is much better. Sarcasm or, bullying is much better than, shouting, telling them to stand in the corner. We don't work with primary school pupils. We work with,
adults.
young adults.
Yeah. And same here. So there was a time when I was teaching a new sentence structure, cleft sentences, and I wanted to make an example, but I did it on the spot. That is why I didn't have any nice ideas. I just looked at my students and wanted to complain about their irresponsibility because they came late, they didn't do their homework, and this is what I stressed. I said that what I like about my students is their punctuality and responsibility, and everybody started laughing because they got the message. Yeah, I guess it works. Next time, in order not to hear this sarcasm, they come usually prepared.
I remember one student kept coming late, and I forgave for the first 3 or 4 times. But for the 5th time, when he came late, and he said again, I'm sorry, I'm late for 10 minutes. I didn't shout like other teachers. I didn't punish. I just said, everybody, look at him. Look at him. The future of Kharizm. People like him will rule this place when we become older. So everything is in his hands. If so, he didn't come late until the end of the course. Sometimes,
It works.
Yeah, it should be like reverse psychology.
I wouldn't come back actually after this course.
I would disappear and leave the flat earth.
But he returned, and again, All right, we have the final question. Very hard question, because you have to remember your favorite book. Or, I remember on one of our last consultations before your test, you told me you don't read books a lot.
I actually do read.
You read?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay,
I
or a favorite film,
movie.
but you should choose it carefully because that book or film can actually reflect your personality and maybe tell something about yourself more to the audience. And again, maybe some people will like you more and want to study in your group. And if they like you, it means they are like you. People who like us, they are like us. And you would work with people like, younger versions of yourselves. So let me tell you about you keep thinking, you don't listen to me. Again, I will speak to them, with them. My favorite book is called The Door in the Wall by Herbert Wells. I read it when I was a high schooler, and I still love it. It's still number 1 for me. Well, let me tell you briefly. It will take a couple of minutes. The main character is a school student who one day finds a strange door in one of the walls in London. Usually, if in London, it's rainy, it's cloudy. So he decides to open that door, and when he enters the door, he finds himself in a place full of sunlight. Lots of children play there, everybody is positive, and people talk to him with great attention, unlike in his real life. So he spends the whole day, he doesn't go to school, he spends the whole day there, and when he comes home, he promises to himself that he would go there every day. But the following day, he doesn't find the door. The wall is empty, and he becomes sad, but he keeps living. However, on one of his final exams after high school, he finds the door again, but that day he has an exam which will help him to become a university student. So what he does, he doesn't open the door. He realizes that in contrast with the cloudy and gloomy London, he can find the place full of colors, full of positive people, but he refuses to enter the door. He goes to his exam and he gets into university. The following day, he comes back to the place, there is no door again. He graduates from university, and he goes to a job interview to a very prestigious organization. And again, on his way to that job interview, he finds the door in the wall. Then he finds a girl of his life, and he arranges a date with her. So, not surprisingly, he finds the door again, and he has a dilemma. The love of his life or the door to the special place was full of positive people. He chooses the girl, he goes to the date, and then they get married, they have a happy family. But he keeps thinking about this door. So when he becomes successful, rich, old, he suddenly finds a door in the wall, and he has something important, I can't remember, but this time he promised to open the door and get inside, like in his childhood. He opens the door, but unfortunately it's not the magical door, it's the door to some subway station which was under construction. So it was late in the evening. He steps inside, he falls and dies. Yeah, the ending is not happy, but it teaches a lot of things. Well, as I interpret this book, this door in the wall is a comfort zone, which actually kills us if we stay too much time there. Because when we, spend a lot of time in the comfort zone, we don't develop. We become lazy. We don't try to reveal our potential. And yeah, comfort zone is very attractive. It gives us a lot of endorphins, serotonin, dopamine, and we want to live there forever. But life isn't about comfort only. So what I learned when I was a high schooler, again, people didn't tell me, that book told me that we should stay out of comfort zone to become who we want to be in our childhood. Mm-hmm. With comfort zone, our future, like us, will never become true. So this book is very deep, tragic, but very meaningful. So you can choose either a book or a film.
Yeah.
Up to you.
Yeah. I've got an idea. I don't read books much. That is why I'm gonna talk about movies that still sticks in my mind. It's called The Hacksaw Ridge. I guess I watched it in English only, but I know how it sounds in Russian as well. По стопам вроде совести. So there is such a word, совесть, conscience. That is the most important one, I guess. It's about a guy who works as a doctor and helps injured soldiers. So before he was sent to war to help others, he fell in love with one lady and he loved her so much that he kept the photo in his pocket all the time. So when he came to that battlefield, when he was with other soldiers, they started making fun of him so because they found the photo of his girlfriend in his pocket. And I still remember how he got into an argument, even into a fight with them, simply because he was a pure person with pure intentions, but people made fun of him. And on the battlefield, the same happened. Everybody, like there was another doctor as well, if I remember well, or there were other people who tried to stop him from going into the battlefield to fill the injured soldiers because he could got killed as well. But he didn't put his life before the life of others, and instead he went onto the battlefield to help others. There were bombs around, but he didn't fear anything. His only purpose and his only probably mission was to help others. This is what I loved about him. I even cried. I still remember. Whenever I watch this movie, I cry. It just taught me that. And by the way, he didn't get killed for some reason because probably God protected him. So because he had pure intentions and he wanted to genuinely help others. So this taught me that when you put the needs of others before yours, you may not get anything in return, but God will anyways kind of not praise you, but give something to you that is even more meaningful than what you have given to others. So this is what has taught me to help others, no matter whether they are close to me or not, and not to expect anything, because whatever you want will come to you, even in a much better way, but later on. Yeah, this is something. Yeah.
Now I know more about you. Well, the conversation becomes more psychological.
Yeah.
And that's great, useful. Okay, let's listen to others. I will give the conclusion of your personality and yours based on your books and films.
I guess it becomes even more psychological because, well, I love reading books, but still I haven't read a book better than a book called Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. And I know you don't know this book, it's not really popular. Olivia Blake, she's my favorite author as well. I've read several of her books. When I read this book, I was 19 or 20. I really felt related. I really felt connected with the main character. Main character is a girl called Charlotte, and she is a very academically gifted, very smart child whose parents were never satisfied with her. So, for example, when she comes home getting A, the parents would ask, why not A+, right? So I also had a similar childhood like her, so I felt very connected with her on a deep level. And then when she becomes an adult, she becomes an artist, but she doesn't really enjoy what she does. And I was at the stage of my life where I also wasn't enjoying my life because there was too much pressure at university, and I was working as well. So, and then she meets a guy who is also struggling psychologically because the guy, what was his name? His name was Rinaldo. His name is Rinaldo. He's a mathematics professor at university. You know, again, smart guy, very educated with PhD and everything, but he also doesn't enjoy his life anymore because he's in his early 30s. He used to love his job, but after dedicating his whole life to the job only, he just forgets why he's doing it all. And then the girl has the same issue, the guy has the same issue, and then they meet, they start bonding, and then they start growing together. That's just the whole plot. Well, yeah, whoever I recommended this book to, they said they didn't understand it. I guess
The same with my book. So again, these books were like written to us, not to the majority of people.
I tell them, well, you don't get it. You have to have felt it. You have to have survived it to understand. But still, I read lots of books every year, but I still couldn't find the one that affected me as much as this book did.
There is even a proverb, like every book has its own reader.
Yeah.
So we don't have to like the mainstream books. There are some books that nobody knows about, but they're written for us, and that makes them so special. I have something to tell about you, and that'll be later. Let's listen to you, and then we'll conclude this conversation.
As long as I got the question, I started thinking about different books, and the only book that kept coming to my mind was a book called Frankenstein.
I know.
I love this book. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I read it.
So I have recently read the book, and it might not be my favorite book, but still I love it so much. So the book is about a scientist called Victor Frankenstein, who was so into natural science, and he once wanted to create a creature. And he created that creature, but he turned out to be so ugly, to the point that he was so scared of him. And then he left the creature without teaching anything about the world, and the creature got left with no information about the world, about the languages, the people. So Victor just left him. So the creature just started wandering around the city, observing people. Yeah, he firstly observed the people who were so kind. Like, he lived in a hovel, and there was a family beside the hovel, so they were so kind. They were just trying to live a good life, and then he learned a lot. The creature learned a lot, the languages. He read different books. He started observing people, and he thought. Firstly, he encountered different people, but those people were also afraid of him just because of his outer appearance. He was so ugly, and people just judged him based on his appearance, not on his heart. And after living in a hole and learning about the family, he finally found courage to go to those people and to show himself. But unfortunately, these people also judged him based on his appearance, and they attacked him. So, he first was a creature with no bad intentions, with no harm to anyone, but later those people just made him a bad creature over time. So, he later killed so many people, and I guess at the end he killed himself too.
Yeah. Recently they did the new movie about it.
Yeah,
yes.
This year, 2025.
Yeah, it's very fresh movie, let's say. I guess this book resembles parent and child relationship. I mean, I've read some reviews like this. This scientist creates the monster. In a sense, technically, he's the parent to this monster, right? And then he gets scared of whatever he's created, and then he runs away. I mean, that's what most parents do. They bring the children to life, and they just leave the child just like this.
I thought, first of all, the Victor shouldn't have created that creature in the first place. And after he created, he needed to take care of him.
Yeah.
He needed to teach him about the world.
I started thinking about people. For example, we have encountered such people who we call evil, right? But they are evil for a particular reason. Maybe there was some stories that made them into who they are now. So this is what reminds me.
There was this quote, villains aren't born.
Yeah, they're made.
Yeah.
They're created, they're made.
Society
Yeah.
forms them.
Unfortunately.
All right, let's conclude this conversation. Let me tell you what I've learned about you. I can be wrong. I'm not a professional psychologist,
Psychologist.
but your preferences tell me something special. Well, let me start with myself. I'm the person, you can understand it from my favorite book, who doesn't like comfort zone. And when everything goes right, I feel a bit uncomfortable. And you can ask my wife, but when everything is great, I start making problems to solve them. So if you want to ask my second name, it's challenge. Challenge is the antonym of comfort zone. Seriously, when everything is great and I should be happy, I say hey, let's fix something else. We have no problems. Let me create a problem so that I can solve it. I know it's not very good, but this is who I am. So accept me like this way. About you, you are very based on your favorite film, altruistic, selfless. You know the word selfless?
Yes.
Giving yourself. So
Anthem of selfish. Yeah.
if you have a problem, and if your, let's say, close people have a problem, again, you have a choice what to solve first. I think you will postpone your problem and focus on the problem of others.
Yeah.
And again, it's not the best way to live because you can have even serious problems in the future, but this is who you are, and it's very hard to change. You can't become an egotistical person just like in a second. So your close people should be proud of being your close people because they can rely on you, and they can just know that there is somebody that can save them in hard times.
Yes, as a teacher is so good at knowing who I am because I have already had my life lesson. Yeah, some people just don't value it and they take it for granted, and that is why God had to remove them from my life, and I'm really happy that it happened. But at first I was very disheartened probably because that was something I didn't even expect coming. But anyways, not everybody understands it. Maybe it's not the best way to live, but this is who I am, and I will have to stick to it.
And don't let these people change you, because of people like you, the society is still healthy. Because if everybody becomes selfish, I don't even want to imagine. Now, teacher Aziza, about you, I read that book, and again, I can be wrong, but I think that you don't pay attention to the appearance of people or objects, and you are interested in the inner world. This is only my hypothesis. Let's put 5 puppies here. 4 are pretty and good, and everybody wants to pat them oh, look at this kara. But Aziza can look at the 5th puppy, which is not as beautiful as others, and she wants to find out that this puppy must have something, and she wants to find it because they are obvious. They are maybe this kind of curly hair or whatever. But that puppy who doesn't look like its siblings must have something special. Otherwise, why God has given a chance for this puppy to live? And while the majority would hug the beautiful puppies, people like Aziza would go to that 5th puppy and try to give that puppy a chance. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just.
These kind of vibes.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
how close I am to that?
You're right, teacher.
So kind.
Yeah, you're so right. I guess I wasn't like that in the past, but I started becoming like that later when I grew up. Yeah, whenever I talk to people, I usually try to understand their inner world, and I usually make relationships based on their heart.
And well, unfortunately, few people are like you, because many people, they pay attention only to the
Books.
clothes, makeup or whatever. But few people care about what's inside. So thank you for being you. Now, teacher Saida, about you. Again, don't take it too serious. It's just an opinion of your teacher. I think if you still like that book, if you still haven't found the book better than that one, you probably still haven't found yourself. And you keep trying to find your real Saida, and you like the process. You're not complaining that I don't know who I am and I still want to know who I am. You want to know who you really are, why you were born, what's your destiny. And it's not about the result. When you find it, that'll be the climax. But now this is the happiest time because you think that you're born for that reason, no, for that reason, no. You study books, you probably do some academic research, I don't know, but you watch some videos to find like some connection to the people on YouTube. And this makes you happy somehow. Because if, let's say, somebody tells you who you really are, you'll find the answer, and what's next?
Nobody knows.
So enjoy this process. Keep looking for yourself, and one day it will come true. But don't hurry to reach that day. It will come.
You couldn't be a writer. Do you have any plans like opening therapy sessions or something?
No,
We're gonna be the first clients.
I don't have a license.
Mine's spot on. I mean, if my friends are watching now, they would be like, yeah, I agree. They can say, like you said, still trying to find myself. I mean, I am everywhere, like trying this, trying that, and my friends, every time we meet with my friends, they're like, you've changed, something is different about, like every time different personality. I guess I'm like continue finding yourself.
But isn't it interesting? One day you're serious, another day you are like chilly, another day you are like very curious, another day you are like, very diplomatic, polite, and people like shocked, like, hey, who are you? Yesterday you were different, and it's like, I'm still looking for myself.
Yeah.
And Sasavich, I would like to add something. Yeah, at university, unfortunately, we are taught to be the same. Yeah, there is a teacher who always tells us to be the same during the lesson and after the lesson as well. They kill individuality, I guess. And this is what Saida has. If she says that she can come this way one day and that way another day, this is something that we should encourage, I guess, in our society instead of making everyone look the same and behave the same.
Well, if there are some people who tell you to be like others, we have 5 fingers on our hands, and one finger is designed for them. And I'm not speaking about the thumb. There is another finger that we should show, not literally, we can show it inside, to people who tell you. Oh, how do you say it in Uzbek? Başkaladin bol?
Herden bir xil bol.
Again, we are different. Again, we like different films, different books, but this is who we are, the individuals, the intellectuals. Time to say goodbye. Hey, wasn't it difficult? I promised it wouldn't be very hard. So,
No,
hey, you don't look nervous. Where is the nervousness?
I don't know. I thought that I would feel so nervous, but I actually like the process now. Yeah, I don't want it to be finished, but I have no choice.
But she has a lesson, and yeah. P.S. This is the first podcast, right?
Yeah.
Of all the teachers, well, except me, I'm a presenter, and I didn't give them questions beforehand to make it more natural, so they were a bit nervous, like what would be, but you just were yourselves. We didn't show off, we didn't want to prove anything, we just tried to help our subscribers. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.